Talkin' Country.
You're listening to Talkin' Country with Paul Taylor.
Well, that ain't the only hell, Mama Rays, and that's by Allie Colleen, who's on the line from Nashville. Hello, Haley. How are you doing?
Hello. How are you?
I'm doing great. How's everything over there? How's the? Is it being lifted a little bit, easing up?
Yeah, it's been amazing. I spent almost every night last week out, which I have not done, for probably 3 or 4 months. So everything's really starting to open back up here. Everything's been going well as far as we know. It's been good.
Oh, it's just amazing to see the rise of your career in such a short space of time as well. I mean, your Facebook at the moment. It's okay. The Facebook at the moment, I mean, there's a wash of like everything going on at the moment. You're either cooking or you're in a bar playing or, whatever. So you just seem to be everywhere, don't you?
We're trying so hard to stay busy. Like I said, we got to have a writer's round last week. And then we also got to play a set downtown, which was amazing for playing for an iPhone for 4 months, on Facebook Live. And So
Yeah.
we've been really trying to get out there. And then too, we try to stay busy all the time anyway, whether it is cooking or horses or anything other than music too. We just try and stay busy.
Well, tell us a little bit about that. Well, it's going to be a massive hit. It's already rising up the charts, isn't it? And a lot of plays. But the latest single, tell us a little bit about that.
So I truly, truly enjoyed getting to write this song. The whole first verse talks about this photograph of my mama. That's just her being her gorgeous self on literally a lawnmower. And I'd seen the picture 1,000 times, but for some reason this time I looked at it and I saw the woman that my mom was before us, before me and my sisters. And I'd never really thought about who my mama was before then, so I kind of got to talk to her about it. And the whole second verse goes into what she used to do when she was a kid, and like what she would get in trouble for and all these things. And then the chorus is a little tongue in cheek because as I was talking to my mama about all these things, I was like, these are all things you never let me do, and so the chorus is a little tongue in cheek in the sense of I am the hell-raising woman I am because of who my mom was, and it just pays respect to all moms and all that thing. I've got to see my mom or my sister be a mom in the last couple of years, and seeing the woman that she, grew into to be a mom is amazing. So I just think moms are the coolest thing.
Oh, it's brilliant. I mean, it's such an amazing track. And one thing that's really uplifting at the moment, certainly within the country scene, is people like yourself, but also your colleagues in the industry at your age and coming up now. There's so many great country, and I'll put that in inverted commas, country artists coming through, both male and female, but certainly young female are making a big stance now.
Yeah.
And that just seemed to be there was a time where it was very pop orientated and following the inverted commas label, whereas you seem to be in your own way, don't you?
Well, I think we all have what country is to us, right? All of us artists, we have different ideas and different whatevers. And for us, it's always got to have that song. So the track for Ain't the Only Hell is so fun and it's so moving, but it also has, this whole idea of a storyline that it follows. And to me, that's country music. I don't care if you got beats on it or not, I want to hear a story. And I think there's a lot of females, like you just said, that are really going back to what maybe some of us more consider a little more country than other things. I was so funny. We had a write the other day and we were talking about how long like our song titles have been lately. Like Ain't the Only Hell, parentheses, My Mama Raised is a really long title. And we were just talking about how 90s that was, and how, that kind of thing. And so it's really interesting to see all these elements of 90s country start coming back, which I'm stoked about personally.
Well, 90s country is in vogue, certainly in the UK. I mean, UK at the moment, I've never seen country music be as popular. It always has that underlying trend, where even my friends used to look at me really strange. He was into soul and rock, which I love. But then they go, "You like country?" I went, "Yep." And I became an artist about 20-something years ago, which we'll touch on a little bit later. But certainly I found now, certainly with the improvement and the increase on the C2C, the country to country, where we've got the CMA Fest in the UK, when you're seeing 20,000 people night after night, and small bars. I mean, only last year in a small bar in Manchester, not far from here, seats about 120 people. Joe Nichols came.
That's special.
Yeah, and he's just sat on the stage and he's jamming and that kind of thing. And Kiefer Sutherland comes over with his band and plays a small venue, and it's just great. Brothers Osborne, and it's just a wash of smaller venues where I love rather than the big events and such. Yeah. Up close and personal and tell your story, don't you?
Most artists are that way too. I will take anywhere from, I'll take any venue, don't get me wrong, but I love the small intimate ones, where you can see everybody and, you can even hear the person in the back. Like those kind of venues are just special. And I think there's obviously a place for the big stuff. Like I want to do everything, but those intimate venues are the best. And I'm a huge follower of Ashley McBride.
Oh, yeah.
She consistently talks about her crowds and her shows that she's had overseas and how the response has just been out of the water. And my husband and I, we were supposed to be in Sweden this summer playing for the first time with a friend of mine, Timothy Baker, and we were supposed to go in June. I think we were technically still supposed to be there right now. And anyway, when that fell through, I saw that Ashley McBryde potentially maybe still has a show in Ireland in September, and we're really thinking about trying to make our way to it because my husband's never been, and I got to do a study abroad over there, and just to see music in other places like that is so cool, and it's so special.
It's, I mean, like I say, Scandinavia is just huge. I mean, it's even probably bigger than the UK. I mean, Alan Jackson's played over there. He doesn't come to England, but over there and plays in Scandinavia. But Ashley McBryde, I mean, she played C2C and absolutely stormed it. And I'll touch on the tattoos while we're talking about it. There's a similarity between Ashley McBryde and you. Yeah. It's like who's going to have the best tattoos? What's going on there?
I don't know who has the best ones, but I can promise you that I have to get a tattoo in a music video now because Ashley got a tattoo in a music video. She got those aviators that have a little kiss mark on them, which I think is for American Scandal, but I might be wrong. But I love it. I just love Ashley. And I was talking about this the other day, you know, Ashley could have been, I feel like, huge 15 years ago if she wanted to, but she would have had to, you know, change herself a little bit. And the fact that Ashley stuck it out and did what she did, literally, she's my number one trailblazer. Like, I feel like I can step on the scene looking like I do with tattoos, and because I don't really fit the mold of a lot of females in country right now, and that's okay. You know, we're all different in our own right, that kind of thing. But, like, Ashley just came through and just is such a badass, and I just literally just want to be Ashley McBryde. I always wanted to be Jody Messina, and now I still want to be Jody Messina and throw in a little Ashley McBryde. But
no, I say Ashley. Some of my friends actually met Ashley McBryde just walking across the walkway into the C2C, and she's so welcoming and such a lovely and person, which everybody is. I mean, the amount of people I've interviewed on here, and it's just like, wow. I mean, I had Steve Warner on the other week, and we just had such a laugh.
People.
Yeah, I mean, we're all human, aren't we? I mean, no matter if you're rich and famous or you're just basically just setting out, we're all the same people. We're still breathing the same air, aren't we? You know?
Yeah, I went downtown last week. I had one night in between my 2 nights of playing that I wasn't playing anywhere, but I knew that she was going to be like a special guest at this little lounge that we have in town. And so we went, and I just think she's so cool anyway. And we've met several times, and we've got to ride a couple times, and she's just talented. But all that to say, the manager was like, hey, we have a special place for you to come in the back. And Ashley was like, I walk through the front door. Like, no matter where I'm playing, I'm going to walk in the front door like everybody else. And I'm just over here like, you're the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. I love her.
It was honestly when I saw the tattoos on your arm and I thought, your arms, and I thought to myself, there's an Ashley McBryde kind of thing going on here. So I was right. Yay.
I hope so. I truly hope so. Yeah.
So we're going to play another song. Let's play the first one. Your debut was Work in Progress. And then we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more about, obviously, you start off with inspiration and future projects going on at the moment. Like you say, you've been doing some writing and stuff like that. And obviously, a song around about the pandemic as well, which was cool. And obviously, great success around that. So we'll come back with Allie Colleen. And this is Work in Progress. Okay, I've just stopped that. I've just paused that now. So we'll just come back with that. And I'll do all the editing. Like I said, I'll send it over to Bev, and then you can obviously looking at going out next week.
Okay.
Yeah. Perfect. I did an interview because Bev, bless her, she's just suddenly said, we'll do an interview with this. And I thought, oh my God, it's going to be, I'm stacked up now because I did Lockland, which were brilliant. Yeah. Lockland jammed in front of me last Saturday, and I'm like, I can't believe this, And then
Lockland is amazing. They're just good dudes too. Those are people to hang with.
Just friended me on Facebook and I said, "You got to come over to England. We're going to party." And I interviewed Jeannie Celine as well. Jeannie Seeley, and I'm probably going to put a double header with yourself and Jeannie, which will be a great show because obviously Jeannie's got the history and the foundation of. She's awesome. She's such a lovely lady. And I thought, obviously, yourself, relatively new coming up, I thought it'd be a great program to see, and we had a great.
I would love that. No, I think that sounds awesome.
Yeah, so like I said, I'll send the links over anyway. So anyway, let's count down again. 3, 2, 1. Well, that was Work in Progress by Allie, and she's in Nashville with us today, which is great for her to spend a busy time at the moment, but spending a bit of time with us here, which is cool, all the way to little UK, which is which is great. But like I was just intimating, I forgot the tail really with. Obviously, country music being great. I tell you what is so in vogue now is the 1990s country. There's that era, that brought out so many great songs and so many great artists, still alive today as well. And a lot of my friends who have bands and cover bands and stuff, and myself as well, we will always play 90s, some have a special evening dedicated. And what was really great, which is a link obviously to your hit, Joe Costa.
Yes.
Give me back the 90s. We had Joe on with John Berry actually about a month or two ago, which was awesome. And they're so lovely, Joe Martina.
Joe and Martina are just truly good friends of mine. We met years and years ago, and Martina and I are always out doing something. We ride horses together constantly, and we work out together, and we go and we do stuff. And then Joe and I get to work together and do the music thing. So often I come over and just unload all this work on Joe, and then Martina and I go off and we party and do whatever we want. We come back and Joe will have something finished. He works so hard, and he's so easy to work with.
Nice.
To do the single with Joe was amazing.
Well, it was really good because it was a 3-way conference. Well, I thought it was a 2-way conference call. And just on the last minute, it said, John Berry's here. I went, what?
Yeah.
John's amazing.
We got to meet John through this.
He's a close friend of mine. Brian Smith is a very, very close friend of mine because he came over here with James House and I toured with them when he was over in the UK. So we always remained friends. So it was really good. It was like getting friends around the table. It was so welcoming. So it was cool.
Brian is so kind. John's son, Kalen, is actually my drummer.
Is he?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes. We've always kind of made this joke that if we can get a couple more members who have the same kind of family background as us, we could be the Bloodlines and we'd be this awesome band. But it's also weird to have a prerequisite like, do you have famous family members to play in the band? So it's kind of a weird conversation to have where like it just has to naturally happen. But Kaylin is amazing.
Oh, I'll have to keep an eye out there because let's say John was just superb and as I was great, we had some good times, Brian and I, over in the UK. So it was really nice for that to happen, and it was just spontaneous because it wasn't supposed to happen. And they said, "Oh yeah, John's on the line." I'll have to change my questioning now. So I was thinking on my feet. But no, tell us about the inspiration then for yourselves, because obviously coming from a musical background, your grandmother, your grandmother from your father's side was a great singer, wasn't she, in the day? Is that where you're trying, is there inspiration from there?
Yeah, so my grandma, I never knew her too well. She passed away when I was about 3, and I have 2 really special memories that I have with her. But my dad, so her name's Colleen Carroll, and so that's why I sing under Allie Colleen.
Brilliant.
Colleen's my middle name, and so I carry her name and everything. And my dad's just always called me Miss Colleen. He just always has. I guess her and I are very similar, I guess, in some respects. And I have this blanket at my house that has her photograph on it, and it literally just looks like Dad to me. And she's beautiful, and so she's amazing. We always kind of joke when everybody, we always just joke that I chose the better singer to keep her name and sing under. It's kind of our little family thing that we have. But oddly enough, my dad, he sings country music, and he did not listen to country radio when I was a kid. He didn't really have a lot of country stuff playing around the house. If he had something playing around the house, it was Queen or Seal or Elton John or anything like that. But the 2 country things that he really brought in, 3 actually, was James Taylor, Keith Whitley, and Randy Travis.
Well, there you go.
What else do you need, honestly? And so I pulled so much from James Taylor. I loved how his melodies you can just kind of sit in. It's almost like a draft horse. It's just like smooth and simple, but like not simple at all because you can't play James Taylor stuff. It's impossible.
No.
You have to have like 17 fingers, but his stuff is so beautiful. And then my mama was the complete opposite for reasons I'm sure you can understand. My mom did not listen to country music when I was a kid. So she listened to 2000s pop music. She loved like Sierra and Nelly and Beyonce when she started with Destiny Child. And she loved all that stuff. And she really brought like Cher and Annie Lennox into my life too, and like those kind of things, and a huge Celine Dion fan. So I also want to be Celine Dion. And so I feel like my vocal, it really isn't that country at all, you know, like in those respects. And I like Christina Aguilera was one of the biggest ones that I just found personally myself as an influence, that just would just practice and try and be like her, and Kelly Clarkson and all those things. And so I love country music, but I feel like I have almost more of a bluesy pop vocal influence. But we've gotten a lot of comments back from Ain't the Only Hell that it's a very 90s female country vocal, which really surprised me to hear. That's what a lot of people have said. And I was like, oh, cool. Like we can fit in, we can hang, like awesome.
No, it's good. I mean, the tone of your voice is so special. You can, now that you've told me now the influences that you have, you can tell some of the phrasing as well. I was very sort of in that 2000, you know, the females of the 2000s, which is cool. And it's a great thing, because if we were all the same, and if all the singers were the same, and all the country artists were the same, then what's the point? You might as well have that reality. And like I said, you going out under your own name, you've chosen your name, which is props. You know, it's so much respect for that. You know, I mean, our listeners, to be honest, some of them will know, some of them won't know. But I want to share a tale. I want to share it while we're talking about inspiration. Your father mentioned having that George Strait moment. I had I mean, all right to say, I had the Garth Brooks moment. Yes. And I wasn't into country music. I was very much like your father, Queen, Billy Joel, you know, Unit Kiss. Yeah. And then suddenly I saw a TV special and I went, oh my God. So I'm singing around the house, driving everybody mad. And then my oldest daughter, Jessica, and I've got to tell you this because she said, you must mention this. So I said, right, okay. My oldest daughter, at the time, there was a talent show on the TV called Stars in Their Eyes, where you went as who you wanted to go as. Yeah. And I went as Garth Brooks. I mean, I had the audition, although I didn't win. It gave me the confidence, and my friends gave me the confidence after that to actually carve out a career in singing, which I've been doing for 20 odd years. And that's how it all started. You know, that's how it started. So coming from a musical family, I mean, my daughter said if he ever became rich and famous, which probably won't happen now, but he said, I've got to have some royalties on that one. I said, oh, okay, that's fine. That's cool.
Got to give credit where credit's due. Absolutely.
But like I said, with yourself, you've got a lot of things. I mean, you've been doing some concerts on the couch, which is cool. Everybody seems to be doing those at the moment, you know, lockdown episode.
The lives, the lives have been awesome. They're really tiring on me personally because I just feed off of performing, right, and people and all that stuff. And so to sit here in my house and finish my song and it just be, you know, quiet was really tough. I kept telling jokes and nobody would laugh, and my husband had to remind me that I was by myself. I was so offended. I was like, they don't think I'm funny, and he goes, you have no idea, like you're by yourself. And I'm like, oh yeah, you're right.
He should have had the stereo on with loud clapping and laughing.
I know. We needed a little noise machine. You're right. But the response of it has been so different though, because there's a lot of people obviously that, you know, there's only so many places you can go and play. And there's a lot of places that we haven't got to go yet. This summer was actually our summer to go west for the first time. And I was beyond excited, and those shows will get rescheduled and it'll be okay. But we, you know, needless to say, we didn't get to do them. So, you know, I can sit here on my couch and I can reach people that my shows here in Nashville would never reach, you know? So I think the live aspect has been so special. I think that COVID will have an extremely lasting impact on our industry, you know, because right now we're talking about my first radio tour and I'm so stoked about it. And it's probably going to be virtual, you know?
Yeah, it's
exciting.
Yeah, it is. Unless you copy somebody who I'll remain nameless, and you get people in a car coming to a concert.
I know. somebody.
Yeah.
But it's just so interesting in that respect that now I can have 7 radio calls in a day, whereas you'd have to drive originally. But at the same time, my voice does not, I mean, everybody's this way. Hearing music in person will never compare to, hearing it, especially over an iPhone or over a laptop or like a mono system, like whatever you're using. And I don't know what you're using. So I just feel like that's going to be a huge thing. But I also feel like COVID has made opportunities. Like you mentioned the drive-ins.
Yeah.
Like now people who couldn't go to those venues can go with their family, and like experience that.
I mean, looking at
how special that is.
I'm looking at the live stream, which I do haven't probably recorded on YouTube, but the Opry, the Opry and the Circle TV, I mean, that is just amazing. I was watching Clint Black last night and Darius Rucker, and two of my favourites. I mean, I love Darius. He's probably one of the artists I've seen the most of,
Yeah.
Oh, it's just, but like Clint Black on, and we had Blake Shelton that was great the other week from his farm, and it's just nice. It just it keeps the circle alive, doesn't it? So it's cool. Is that what's one of your biggest ambitions? I mean, again, apologies if you've already done it, but to play the Opry.
I have got to play on the Opry stage, but I have never got to go on like as Allie Colleen and like perform. We played a tribute for Ralph Stanley at the Opry. And I got to sing The Fields Have Turned Brown, as well as an original of my own. And the original, it's just this beautiful song about love, and it's called Take Up Your Arms, and we'd never performed it live before, and it was so special. I got to play it on the Opry stage in that circle, and everybody just stood up for the chorus because it's just about loving everybody, and it was such a special moment. I'm honestly nervous that if I ever get to debut at the Opry, it will not go as well as it went the first time.
Shock a lot of my guests when I say I've never been to Nashville, which is like one of them cardinal sins for somebody who loves country music. And they're going, you got to come over and we'll hang. I mean, Steve Warren was saying, we'll come over and Lotland. I thought, my kidneys are going to kill me. I'm going to have no liver left. Come down, we'll hang. I'm like, oh, right, okay. But hopefully next year I get to go over. But John, about the Take Up Your Arms, though, it was you did a non-profit organisation thing, really. Was it for Turtle?
I did as of Sea Turtle Recovery.
Yeah. How did that come about?
They're in New Jersey, and we were just lucky enough to have a couple shows up there a few years ago where they had reached out and just said, hey, we know that you love animals. We would love for you to come and be a part of this. I grew up in a wildlife rehabilitation clinic in Oklahoma, so we took care of all the wildlife in Oklahoma, and needless to say, nobody ever brought a sea turtle in. So I was beyond excited to get to go to the coast and like get to see sea turtles. And we played the show that night, but we spent the whole morning and afternoon at the clinic, and I got to meet all the turtles, and it was just so special. It was so special. They had one come in that day. His name was Wolverine, and he didn't look like he was going to make it. And I got to watch his release video a year later, and it was so special. And so when they came to us and they wanted to put out a video of awareness, they asked us if they could use that song. I was honored. Absolutely.
We're going to play that a little bit later anyway, so we'll play that. But also tell us a little bit about the Close Enough as well, because obviously with the pandemic and stuff like that, that was a lovely poignant song as well. Tell us a little bit more about that.
I wrote Close Enough probably 4 years ago when I needed it more than anything. That song saved my life. As a songwriter, sometimes you just get these little gifts, and it doesn't happen often, and it doesn't happen to everybody. But that song took as long to write as it did to sing it. It was just very easy, and it just came out, and I needed it. And needless to say, I didn't want to share it with anybody after that, like it was mine, and I didn't want anybody to ruin it. And it was, that kind of thing. And during quarantine, a lot of my friends who were all doing the social media challenge that was just encouraging you to like share a work tape that was unreleased. And, my husband was kind of like encouraging me. He goes, listen, if Close Enough saves your life, it's a little selfish for you to keep it and not let it save other people's lives. And I was like, dang it, you're right. Okay. But I didn't want to just put it out as a work tape. I wanted to make it special. And so we reached out on social media. We asked people if they would send in signs, holding lyrics so we could make a lyric video. And we needed about 50 people. And I was very nervous about it. I figured I could get a couple and then I'd make my friends do it, and that kind of thing. And within about an hour, we had about 580 people who wanted to be a part of the lyric video. And so it was so special. If you guys go and watch it, here's a little Easter egg for you. My nieces are in it.
Oh.
And I gave them one of my favorite lines. It's when nightmares leave me scared. And naturally, when two little kids read that line, they decided they wanted to dress up all scary. So you'll just see this clip of these two girls holding this sign. And the scariest thing in the picture is the white picket fence that's been green for like 20 years.
Wow.
But then they're also just sitting there in their little black dresses, and they got like black lipstick on, and they're so cute, and they look absolutely crazy. But that's my little Easter egg for you guys. My dogs are also in it. And a couple of people sent in just lyrics with their dogs holding it.
Oh,
That's
wow.
really special to me too, because I love animals so much. So it's a special video. We just put it out on YouTube. It's the only place that you can find it. And so, yeah, just go check it out. It's just a sweet sentiment. It's just a good love song.
There's so much creativity, isn't there? I mean, I was saying to one of the other guests on the show a couple of weeks ago that there's going to be so much writing, but there's only so many words rhyming with COVID.
I know, you're right.
But
well, oddly enough, in May of 2019, I got with this little pop artist in town. She's amazing. We became friends. Her name's Cameron Palmer, but she wanted to write like a song for 2020.
Wow.
So we wrote this song in May of 2019. It's called 2020. And the hook of it is like we're seeing 2020 because it was supposed to be what we thought would be the year that was just full of love, right? Because there were so many things for the LGBTQ community in 2019. And there were so many just really amazing civil rights kind of things that happened last year that we were like, 2020 is going to be the year, right? It's going to be love and it's going to be amazing. And I mean, that is honestly what it has turned into, but I don't think it's looked like what any of us thought it would look like. You know? So all that to say, we have this really sweet song that's called 2020, and it's just everybody's welcome to my party, and we're seeing clearer, we're seeing 2020, and it's just sweet. But you're right. I think there's going to be some COVID songs like the 6 Feet Apart that Luke Bryan came out with.
No, we played this before he released it because he put it on YouTube and I put it straight on the show. You know, I thought I'm putting that on. I just loved it. And we're doing it live and stuff. And Dolly Parton's new one as well. I mean, that is just because when I was listening to that, obviously with Kenny Rogers, you know, sadly passing this year, I thought she needed that. She absolutely needed that.
What's the Reba's on it and Thomas Rhett and In a World Full of Darkness Be a Light, or A World Full of Hate Be a Light, whatever that one is.
Yeah, just so much creativity out there, you know. And let's see, Father's got a cracking one out now that We Shall Be Free all over, isn't it? It's very much, you know.
That has always been since I was a kid. I one day hope it comes into fruition and we'll speak it out in the universe now that I get to put out We Shall Be Free.
Yeah.
It is my biggest dream on the planet, you know, and it's we always try and keep our careers so separately because he works his butt off for his and I'm trying to do the same thing. But if there's ever a time in my career when I feel like my name stands alone and I can put out We Shall Be Free, I will do it. I mean, I don't even know if he'd let me, but oh my gosh.
It's one of my daughters.
That's always been like a little goal of mine to have.
One of my oldest daughter's favourite songs, that. And with everything kicking off, obviously, sadly, a couple of weeks ago, and, you know, everybody sort of wanting to riot and protest for whatever reason. And you know, I'm not a political guy. And on the show, I ended off with, I said, I'm not going to say anything. This is We Shall Be Free. And I left it.
That's all I had. Everybody was making posts and I went straight to scripture and I shared some of my favorite scriptures and then I just hashtagged it We Shall Be Free because ain't nobody wanting to hear my opinion right now on anything and I don't even know what mine is, so I just left it up to God and Garth Brooks lyrics, which is honestly what I leave a lot of things up to in life.
But no, that's great. I mean, one of the you was on about performing as well. I'm doing my first show I've done for like 3 months. And it's in honor of Glastonbury.
Really?
Yeah, it's going to be separated. It's not. You know, I don't even think there's going to be an audience there, but it's going to be like recorded for a radio show. And the people said, "Yeah, come down." And I'm thinking, "Oh, great! I'll just come with the acoustic and we'll do some songs and whatever." Then he went, "No, well, it should have been the anniversary of the 50th anniversary of Glastonbury this year, so." Can you do some? And I thought, oh my God, I'm going to way out my comfort zone here.
I bet it would be so awesome, though.
Well, it's a lot of my artists. I mean, Dwight Yoakam played there. You know, Cash played there, so they're in. But likes of Roxy Music, David Bowie, who's the other one? U2.
Right.
I think I'm bringing that to the table, and I'm like practicing every day. I might be
That's going to be amazing, though.
really looking forward to it, but also a little bit of trepidation because I'm outside my comfort zone, very Chris Gaines kind of thing,
Those moments are very rewarding, though, I find. Like once you do it, it's so rewarding, and it's going to be so much fun, especially if you haven't got to perform as of recent. Like, it's going to be so fun.
So much rust on there. But tell us a little bit about what's coming up then, certainly for the foreseeable future. You mentioned about the radio, the radio shows and stuff that are obviously being streamed, but anything else regarding albums and things like that?
Well, so Ain't the Only Hell actually doesn't go out to radio until I think July 6th. So we've already kind of got a jump on it as far as we're already on the chart. We're already being played by a couple stations. So just to see that song grow is really what we're trying to hang back for, because we're trying to stay relevant, but we're trying not to step on the song, and let it do its thing. So with that said, hopefully anywhere like around probably 8 to 12 weeks from when we put it out, there will be a new song. It will only be released on streaming. We're not going to go to radio with it, but there's a brand new song coming out. It's called Best Friend, and there may or may not be a second song bonus feature with it. And I'm beyond excited about it. I'm so excited about it, and to share it with everybody. And then we also have an amazing song called Wildflower, which debuted on my bonus mom's Food Network show that she has. That played this past Saturday. And people can go watch it. It's this beautiful song called Wildflower that Trisha and I actually got to sing together. And we've never sang together ever in our lives. No, it was our first time. There's one moment towards the end of the clip where you see us look at each other and we're just about to cry and we had to look away. We're like, no, we don't do this. It was so special. And so Wildflower, we've had a lot of people asking about it, and that will come out hopefully around August, maybe early fall.
Oh, I saw Trisha years ago in Manchester, and she was on with Susie Boggess, Alison Krauss, Dale Watson. Such an amazing show, just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So, you two singing together. Wow, that'd be that.
Yeah. It's so cool. You can check it out. It's on all my socials. It's on Trisha's socials. It literally just came out on Saturday because I got to be on her Trisha Southern Kitchen episode with her. We did a Father's Day episode.
Oh, cool.
And it was really cool. So that happened this weekend, and you guys can check out the Wildflower video. But that song will be coming out later this year.
All right. So, I got a lovely Father's Day gift. My both daughters, but I went to this Italian restaurant years ago. Was it? No, it might have been last year. Loved this Italian dessert, and it was just like ice cream with hazelnut liqueur, with coffee beans on top, and then an espresso coffee poured over it. And I forgot all about it. And she just,
perfect.
This is for you. I went, oh my God. It's my favorite thing. I was like that. I was like, way. I was in lockdown heaven,
I love that. You know how, like, when you look to see, like, how to play a chord, and it's like the 6 strings, like the little dots on where your fingers go. So I got my dad a hoodie that has, like, the chord thing for, like, D-A-D. So he has, like, so it's dad, but it's just like little guitar language. Like, you'll get it if you know it or you won't. And he was so much more excited than I thought he was going to be for it. He's a goober when it comes to gifts. He's a good one to give gifts to, no matter what it is, whether it's M&Ms or Dr. Pepper or a hoodie. He's beyond excited about it.
I'm a great receiver of gifts, but equally I'm not bothered if they can't do it, they can't do it. So right. I've got the amazed. Really?
You got it down? Good.
Yeah, but no, but it's absolutely been a pleasure talking to you. And
thanks for having me on.
Yeah, and I'll hopefully get into the UK and do some shows when it's all good and safe to do so. And I'm confident that you are going to be, a big. Even saying to Bev, your manager, I was going, she's going to be awesome, and she said, "Yep, she is."
Thank you, Bev. If I am, Bev will 100% be the reason, because that woman does everything.
She was on when I was chatting to Jeannie, who's on the same show as yourself, the hour before you, and she was talking to her. I said, "Who's that in the background?" She said, "It's Bev." I said, "I've never seen her." So obviously I've seen her on Facebook. So she popped around on the video and went, "Hello, Bev." Hello, and it's like,
it's so nice to put a face to a name, or even a voice, something like that. I actually met the engineer of Ain't the Only Hell at Planet Fitness today. And because we did it during COVID, I'd never met him. He walked up to me and goes, "Hey, I'm Ben. Like, I mixed your song." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, hi." Weird time.
It is, but I think it's going to make people a lot stronger. And like I said, it's just been an absolute pleasure. And I really appreciate you spending some time with us. I know you're a very, very busy person, and look forward to seeing your career with great enthusiasm. I've actually, because obviously I follow you on Facebook, I've liked so many things. They've given me a badge. I've got this badge. I've got an Allie Colleen.
Are you a top fan?
It looks like I am.
You're either a top fan or a valued commenter or or something else. But I can see all those. I can go on and see who has it. And sometimes I'll just randomly send somebody a message. I'll just
it's me now if I like anything. So yeah, I keep getting all these. I thought, wow, we've got a badge. Badge of honor.
I love that. Thank you.
You take care. Enjoy the rest of your day and the rest of your week. And as I said, good luck with everything that's coming your way. And
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Happy belated Father's Day.
Thank you very much, and take care.
Go my own way, try to walk a straight line, still trouble finds me time after time. I flirt with disaster and I court distress. I'm a work in progress. I can't seem to figure the value of things. Is a wildflower worth more than a diamond ring? Or less, maybe more, maybe less, when you're a work in progress. I'm the best I've ever been, but not the best I'll ever be on this journey to me. My feet can't find exactly where I am. Is this my beginning, middle, or the end? The north, maybe south, east, maybe west, when you're a work in progress. La 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 la. When it comes to the heart, I get so confused. Do I use love as a crutch? Do I love being